All right. Hey, you guys, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm really excited to chat with you all. We've got some really exciting things happening. Um, so one of the things like I really wanted to go over tonight and talk about, and if you guys have questions, please drop them in the chat because I want to like hear from you guys too. But something that Mandy and I were talking about a couple days ago with some other distributors, we were kind of like asking them about some things that they were struggling with and or stuff they wish they had tips on. So people had kind of shared a few things, and I feel like they're like common things that a lot of you will probably be like, oh yeah, I felt that before, or I'm going through that right now, or I would love tips on that. So Mandy and I thought it'd be cool for us to go through and talk about some of these things, and share some tips and share some things that we do to get through those times. And we're even going to do some screen sharing so we can really show you guys like what we're doing. Um, but also these are things that are super important that, you want to nail these down because those are going to help you see results. So I'm really excited to kind of go through some of that stuff with you guys. And like I said, if you guys like have questions as we're talking, put them in the chat. If you guys like do something that you feel like is really helpful with one of the things that we're talking about, put it in the chat, like speak up. We want to hear, like we want to collaborate and be able to learn from each other. So one of the things that somebody put in here is they felt like the same people are always commenting on their posts for giveaway posts. And if you've ever felt that way, drop a one in the chat. Like if you've ever felt like when you do a giveaway post, it's the same people that are always commenting. And sometimes it's like people that are commenting every time, and every time you give them a thing to post, they don't post it. And you're like, or it's the person that's like, oh, I don't know how to copy and paste. And I'm like, okay, then do you think it's different than last time, Cheryl? Um, so let's see. Okay, so lots of people are feeling that way. Okay, so that was me too. So, and I'm gonna show you guys really quick. I can even like kind of share my screen because I know I've talked about it before, like on the last one, but I sometimes think it's helps when we see these things is and I'm just like pulling up my Facebook because I didn't do that prior because I think about all this stuff, but I wasn't like being like, hey, let's be prepared. So I used to do giveaway posts a lot myself, and I kind of was running into the whole feeling like people were the same people all the time. Every once in a while, I will do a giveaway post. And Mandy, at any point, you can like interrupt me if you want to. But I want to show you guys, and I'm like on my screen, but I forgot I didn't share my screen with you guys. So, one thing I also want to do to show you guys is if anybody ever feels like they get a bunch of, hopefully, you guys can see this. Mandy, can you see my screen? Because I can see your face. So, that's okay. So, one of the things that I was running into when I do giveaway posts, and I don't have one up right now, but I'm just going to use like a random post. When I was doing giveaway posts on my page, I was getting like the spammers, the people that are really screwing up what I'm trying to do and coming and commenting on my posts. So something I started doing when I do a giveaway post, I still leave it public, but I would go over here to the three dots, and like Mandy actually like let me know that this was like a thing. But then I would come over here to who can comment. Oh, sorry, I hate this about one of the messenger. Who can comment on this post? So I would go to that. So I didn't change the privacy from public, but I go, who can comment on your post? And instead of having the commenters be public, I made it friends and established followers. So that really did help without having, Jerry, Johnson comment, on my post and say how beautiful I was, or saying like, oh, send me your Cash App, I'll give you money. And then having all these people commenting me and just screwing things up. So that's something, if you are doing giveaway posts or you feel like that happens, that's something I did to kind of combat that. So something that I do when I don't do giveaway posts, because I know it can feel like sometimes you're always asking people to do, or, you're always doing the post and the same people are commenting. So I've been doing my birthdays, and sorry, apparently my internet is going slow. So what I'll do is I'll go to my birthdays and I'll click the person's page and I'll go to our mutual friends. So like me and this person only have one, but that's fine. So I'll click it and then I'll go to like our mutual friends. So I would tell Phyllis happy birthday. then I would come over here to our mutual friends and I would message Karen and tell her happy birthday. So it was just like the mutual friends, it's just kind of a system I have to like.
No, you would tell Phyllis happy birthday, and then you would go message Karen asking her to host a
Yeah.
post.
Is
You
that what
said you'd message Karen happy birthday, but it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Phyllis had the birthday person happy birthday, and then Karen, like the mutual friend, you would ask them to do host to post. And there's really no rhyme or reason to doing that other than it's just like a system to follow. But by doing that, I'm asking like different people that I'm not always in their network. So then I would just go back to like the next person that had a birthday. And I would tell that person, like, let's say Denise, like I'll tell Denise happy birthday. And then I'll go to, we have 20 mutual friends. I'll go to our friends. Well, that's 20 people that I'm going to go through and I'm going to ask them to do host to post. So it's just a way. And like you guys, I know it's crazy, but like, cause I've even done like my friends, like through the alphabet, like A through Z, like I've messaged and asked people that way. Like I'm coming across people that I haven't talked to in like a year that by doing this system. It's just getting me in different people's inboxes. Now, say you come to this person's page and you scroll through, because this is something I did when I'm doing my birthdays. You scroll through and say Denise hasn't posted in like 6 months. Well, I'm gonna like unfriend her because I want like active people on my friends list. But something I'll do before I unfriend her is I want to go first to see who the mutual friends are, and I want to ask those people to do host to post, just because I don't want to like miss out on any opportunity to ask someone. You know what I mean? Because once we're not friends anymore, I'm not going to see those mutual friends. So that's just an idea of like something if you feel like you're always asking people to do host to post and or you're putting up a giveaway post and you're getting the same thing, like don't be afraid to go ask people to do a host to post for you. And I can even share a message in my the chat here. I can put it in the post on the success squad of what I'm using, and I feel like I get a really good response. But you guys, like, you have to remember too, because I know this can be frustrating. Not everybody that you ask is going to reply. Not everybody you ask and they say yes, they will post for you is going to actually post for you. Like, that's just kind of like part of it. And the only thing I can say to you to get past that is to keep asking people. Like, you're going to have days where you're going to ask all these people and you're going to have people be like, yes, 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 yes. And you're going to be like, holy cow, this is amazing. You're going to have other days where you're going to ask people and be like, what the actual heck is going on? Because nobody is replying to me. And that's like 100% normal, but you've got to go through those days where no one is replying to get to the ones that are. And it's just weird. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I'm convinced it's like just a Facebook thing and it's like decides when it's going to let people see your stuff and when it doesn't, when people reply. I don't know. But that's something I'm doing. But I'm going to let Mandy talk because Mandy has something that she's been doing and she feels that for her, it's really been super helpful. And I think last week she talked about it a little bit on the multiple things she's doing with one task, but she was going to kind of walk you guys through it a little bit just to show you just some of the different things you can do. Because host to post, I know we talk about it all the time, you guys, but I truly believe if you're doing host to post and you're doing it consistently and you're doing it right, that's like the difference of like your like chain blowing things up. Like, I know girls last month and I was trying to work with them getting on tonight, but they were busy, but had like 3,000 volume come in like 4 days from like, because they've been doing host to post consistently and it just like blew up. And so we're going to have her talk with us soon, but that's kind of why we really want to talk about host to post a little bit tonight. And I know a lot of people struggle with feeling like they're not getting them up or not talking to the right people. So I'm going to, Mandy, I'll make you like a host and then you can unmute yourself and you can kind of do your little spiel.
Okay, I was actually going to see if I could join with my phone because I feel like it'd be faster. And then if you could make my phone. Hold on.
Well, I can't because you're the host now. So.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to like mute this. Let's see if I can figure this out. I don't know why you did this to me. Now I gotta try to be smart.
We read the itinerary before, we wouldn't be here.
See, it says I'm on here, but I'm not. Do you see me like again?
I did, but now I don't. Oh wait, yeah, I'm lying. I do see you.
Yeah, and I don't. How do I make you back to being host so you can make me host on the other thing?
You click the three little
There,
dots.
I found it. I found it.
Okay. This is, but we can't. Oh, now I can.
Okay, is it good? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to try to screen share from my phone. And I'm getting really nervous because I feel like all the pressure's on me.
No worries. We're all just looking at you.
I know. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I'm intelligent enough. Okay, see, this shows you how you can do whatever, even if you don't know what you're doing. All right, so something that I've been doing is basically like what Lindsay was talking about. And I go to their birthdays and I just go through just exactly how she said. I go through, I delete the people. Like if like I scroll on this person's page, I'll look and see like scroll past her happy birthdays. And then I'm also like interacting. So like the way my brain works is like whenever I start, like this is so stupid, but this is the way it works. But whenever I start cleaning, like I like to start my dishwasher, I like to start my laundry, and I want to like have something going because I want to do multiple things at one time. So that's how I feel like whenever I do like my task list. Like I want to get it going so I have multiple things going at one time. So like I'll start and I'll interact with this person. It's like her birthday and I'll like something, I'll comment on something if I feel like, you know, it portrays to me. Like I don't want to just like something that I don't have any interest in, if that makes sense. And then I will go back, I'll like wish her a happy birthday. And then I do the same thing. I go to the mutual friends, I'll click this person, make sure that their account's like still active, and I'll interact on that account. And then I'll message them and just tell them, you know, ask them to host a post. And like this is like what's crazy is like, look at this person. I haven't talked to her since July. So I'll like message her and like ask her to do a host a post. And then I'll do this all the way through. And like even if like sometimes like I'll write my like tally down and I'll like try to tally up all the people that I asked to host a post today. So that way I know in the morning I'm at least getting 25 up. And then sometimes I'll run out between just like my messages or my birthdays. Like, so I'll go to my mutual friends of mutual friends. So like for this girl, it was her birthday. I'll go to the mutuals again, click mutual. And then I'll ask her when I run out, I'll go to her mutuals. And it's just like this endless cycle of all these people that I'm talking to and adding or having these conversations with that I haven't talked to in a long time. And then some of the questions like that we had earlier was people like you're asking people to do host a post and maybe you feel like you're asking the same people or maybe you like just messaged them because they comment on it every single time. But I don't know like how you guys are, but I feel like sometimes I'll have like 5 people that ask me or comment on my stuff to do a host a post and then I message them and they don't ever reply. And I'm like, you wanted to do this. Why aren't you answering? I will message them again. And like, I don't care every single time that they comment on it, I message them. And sometimes it's really weird. Nobody will say anything back. And then one day they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I'll do that. Of course, I'll do that for you. So I don't care if I message them just the other day, I'm going to message them again. Like, it doesn't even matter to me. And then, the other thing that I was going to say, and I found this out recently and I absolutely love it. And I don't know, I know that some people it pops up differently. And I know like if you have an iPhone and Android, it's a little bit different. And mine starts like at the top. So like next to the little bell, I guess, notification to the left, it used to be marketplace. It changed to feed. And this shows like people that just commented and like shared different groups and stuff. I know you can also do it by clicking like the 3 lines and then doing feeds here and clicking the friends. And if you stay on the friend tabs, this is just people that just now posted. Okay, and this is my favorite part about this. I have not seen one ad as I'm scrolling. Like it's just people that commented and like it's things that they shared. So these are all the things that people are just now saying. So once I'm done with all my birthdays and I'm doing like mutual things, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know where we were going. Lindsay's face. Okay, stop. I will go to these people. So I'll interact like on this girl. I would interact on her thing and be like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And normally I type better than that. And then I will go to her page and message her about doing the business. Or not doing the business, about host to posting. So that is something, and it's like talking to these people that they just now did it and sometimes are just now commented. And so I know that they're already active because they just commented on something. So it's popping up immediately in the news feed. And then I know that it's almost like a long time ago, we used to go to like active friends and like show like all the people that are active, and we were messaging all these people that it shows they're online. Like I know these people are online. They didn't leave their tab up on Facebook and walked away and like left. Like this person just posted on Facebook. So that's something that I'm doing, and I'm just sending, I don't even know if I can do it on here. All right, now I got to figure out how to stop sharing. Do you know how, Lindsay?
It like for me it's like at the top of my screen.
No, it's different. Okay,
Sure.
so is there anything else you think I need to share before? Okay.
I was gonna tell you guys, I put in the chat the message that I send to ask people, and this is like goes really good. And I'll like change out my heart emoji and I just change out like the amount, but that's what I'll send to people. And then I know I talked about it last week, but I put in there the board, and I think I spelled conversation right in the board that I've been using for my host to post. Because I've been doing like weight loss post for the host to post, and I've been like following that kind of conversation because she like goes through packs and she'll have, okay, like ask them this, and if they answer this, this is what you'd say. If they answer this, this is what you would say. And it like literally like every single option, and it's like amazing and I love it. And I really do have people like ordering these packs, and not only are they over 100 BV, but they're really great packs that are going to help them get good results. But it's like going after their specific needs and also what they like. Like if they like coffee, is it sweet or black? If they don't like coffee and they can't do caffeine, we've got an option for that too. So there's multiple like different options, but the host to post that goes along with that, I'm getting like tons of comments. And it's just like, oh, if you couldn't fail, how much weight would you want to lose? And it's just, gives the different options and people just pick. So it's been really awesome. Something like really quick before we get off the host to post topic, and I think I mentioned this the other day before, is when I'm talking to people and if I have someone tell me that they can't order right now or they can't join right now for whatever reason, I'm like letting them know no worries at all. And then I just send them a message and ask them if that message I put in the chat, and ask them if they would do a host to post for me. So I'm just like spinning it into, I'm taking like a negative situation, we'll call it, and turning into something positive and like spinning it, and just, so I'm still like benefiting from having this conversation, even if not only am I gaining a potential, but I'm gonna have to them do host to post because they could have tons of friends interested. And then, then that gives you the opportunity, once they post that, I'll still ask them to do the business, even though they told me maybe they didn't have the money right now to order, like, and okay, maybe they won't have the money to join, but like I'm getting that conversation going too and planting that bug in their ear. So we're taking like one task and we're like spider webbing it into all these different things. So
and on that boards, on the host to post like conversation part, all the way at the bottom it says like told you no, like I'm not ordering right now. She did a really good, it's like like no worries at all, like basically asking you to host a post. But it's really good. I like the way she worded it. I just changed the money amount.
Yeah. So I like it because there is just different conversations, a lot of things we struggle with. Okay, so the next thing like someone talked about was they said that they struggled with, and I had it in right here really quick. Let me see because I can't remember. They struggled to get people responding to their post. And like drop a 2 in the chat if you've ever felt like that, because Lord, I know that is me. I have like infinity 2s in the chat. Mandy will even say that. I'll be like, oh my gosh, like nobody's commenting. Mandy does the same thing. Okay, so there's a couple of things. First of all, it's totally normal. Like you guys, like I can't tell you in 10 and a half years like how many times I've been like, why is no one commenting on my stuff? But one of the things I can tell you is even if you feel like people are not liking and commenting on your post, I can assure you that they are still watching, even if you have no idea. Okay. Like 90% of my customers and distributors like didn't like or comment on a post. Like they just messaged me like privately. And it's crazy because sometimes it'll be people that like even today a girl messaged me and I was like, I don't even know if she's like paying attention to my stuff because she won't comment on it. She doesn't like it. But the thing is like sometimes people are just like shy. Like they don't want people to know their business. They don't know want, even for us, they don't want us to know that they're interested because maybe they're on the fence. So they don't want to even like go there yet. But that's the big thing. You cannot stop posting just because you feel like nobody's commenting. If you are posting It Works stuff and people aren't commenting besides like other It Works distributors, and then you go post something like not It Works related and you're getting comments, I would say like I would feel confident that there are people seeing your posts. They're just not commenting on it because they want to be a little more secretive. Now, if you're posting an It Works post, you're not getting comments, and then say you go post a picture, a quote or something, and you're not getting comments, maybe we need to look at, are you interacting with people? Are you making sure you're getting enough exposure? Because like to me that would be like weird. But I also know, and Mandy will attest to this too, sometimes we'll post stuff that like we would think people would be all about and we're not getting very many comments. Sometimes I think it's like the algorithm. So that's where I go into like that mode of really liking and commenting on people's posts. I really try to make sure when I'm going to my like birthdays or my friends, I'm deleting people that aren't active because I want to clear out the things that are active. I'm really trying to do some good interaction posts that I think will get comments like, what do you call the last piece on a loaf of bread? Just stuff that people will comment on, and just to kind of get that like interaction back up. But yeah, like I said, like it's normal, but like you just got to look at those things, but don't let it get distracted. Don't let it get you discouraged. I mean, like when you think about it, when you're seeing a commercial on TV, how many times have you seen a commercial and at first you're not really paying attention to it? You're just like see it and you're like, whatever. But the more you see it, the more you're like thinking about it. And you're like, gosh, like that does seem kind of cool. Maybe I do need that. You know what I mean? And that's why the TV's doing that. Like that's why I don't only show a commercial one time. Like they're showing it multiple times. So that's why we need to be making sure that we're being consistent and make sure that you're adding friends. Like if you feel like your network like is lame, go add friends. And you don't just have to do host to post to add friends. Like we talked about this before. Go to people that you used to go to school with. Go to people you used to go to work with. People that you just knew from like other extracurricular activities. Go to their friends list. Add people that you have like 5+ mutual friends with, whatever, just anything to be growing that network and getting new people in there. But like you're going to notice if you're consistently interacting, you're going to notice that people are going to start liking and commenting on your stuff. And something that I did it for a couple days. I didn't do it today. I dropped the ball. I got to be honest, because it's new. I'm trying to get in my routine, but I am going to start doing in the Success Squad page. I am going to start doing a posting ladder so that we can go in there and you can put your link for your post on there, and then we can all come back and comment on your post. So say Amanda, you put your post link in there, we can go to your page, we can comment on that post, and what that's going to do is that's going to bump your post up into the news feed. So new people are going to start to see it. That's going to bump it up. So Facebook is also going to be like, dang, there's people commenting on this post. This is something that people like. And then also, I feel like it's super cool because when people are scrolling and when someone comes through and sees that you have like 10 comments on your post, to me, like as a person, when I see that on someone's page, I'm like, okay, I want to pay attention to what this is because there's people commenting on it. Like, I want to go read the comments or I want to see what people are saying. So it's just a way to create that excitement, create like, a little bit of interest, but it's also going to boost it into the newsfeed so more people are going to start seeing it. So I encourage you guys to take advantage. It's my goal to put it up each morning in the Success Squad page. And you can put your link in there and then try to make it a goal. I know sometimes it's hard, but try to make it a point to go back and comment back on people's like ones that they did after they did it for you, just to kind of return the love. But this is something that we used to do like way back in the day whenever we started in this business. Like that was a huge part of like what we did, was showing love on our teammates' posts, because it really did create that excitement and that kind of like oomph around the posts and things like that. So that's something else that you can do and that we're going to start doing. Someone said that they're just having trouble sealing the deal and struggling with enrollments. I think that we could all raise our hand that would be us. And you guys, like the big thing there, like for me, it's like the follow-up. Like, and even for myself, like usually when I feel like I'm not really sealing the deal, it's because I'm not following up. I'm not going back and having the conversation. And I don't just mean like one time or two times. Sometimes it's going to take like 6 times or more to have that person be ready to order. But that's like the difference of people who aren't successful and the people that are. They're willing to put in that work and the time. But also like making sure that you're keeping things simple, making sure that you're focused on that person and their goals. Like if they say no, that you're not ready to order right now, say no problem. Is there anything that I can help you with? Do you have any questions? Is there any more information? One of my favorite things that I'll follow up with someone, or even if I'm having a conversation and someone will be like, oh, I want to ask my doctor. Well, okay, that's great, but like, how the heck are you going to ask your doctor? Because I didn't give you the ingredient list. What are you going to go in there and be like, can I take these gummies? And the doctor's going to be like, what? No. So anytime that someone says, I need to talk to my doctor, I always say, okay, would you like me to send you the ingredient list for this product? Because I'm like, what are you going to, I don't understand, but if you have someone that said they're going to go talk to your doctor, follow up with them like a few days later, a week later, and be like, hey, were you able to check with your doctor? But I really do feel like the big thing is the following up, the consistency with posting, and just making sure that people know their options. And, don't just sit there and give your link out like it's candy and be like, oh, here's my link. Just look at my link. Just look at my link. Have the conversations. Like, I don't think that we sometimes talk enough to people. It sounds easy. It sounds convenient. You know what? It sounds really great that we can post our link on Facebook. To me, that doesn't really jingle my bell, because I don't want to just post my link on Facebook and anybody can go look at it and I have no idea who looked at it or who did it. Like, you will not see me posting my link on Facebook, because that's not what I want. Like, I want people to have a one-on-one conversation with me so I can find out what their goals are, so I can make sure I'm recommending the best product. I want to make sure that I'm able to give them the pricing info, because we know whenever you go to our website, there's multiple options. They're not going to know what the heck they qualify for, because they didn't have that conversation. So I want to be able to talk to them. And then also I want to be able to follow up. If I just post my link, I have no idea who's gone there, and I have no idea how I can say, hey, what did you think? Or, hey, can I give you more information? What questions did you have? But by us, and you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the link makes it seem like it's convenient and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like, I can give this out like to everybody. Like, no, like I want to have the conversation. Then if I'm having the conversation and we get to that point of, hey, do you have a link? Heck yeah, it's pretty awesome that I can send it in Messenger when the time comes for me to give them my link. Or if they want to order, I can do that. But like, I really want to have the conversation. Like, sometimes I feel like convenience really bites us in the butt because it takes away that personal connection, that relationship, that customer service that we have to have. And I think sometimes things get lost in that, and I remember someone in the business used to always say, a confused mind says no. And I believe that's like so true. If they don't understand what they're looking at, it becomes overwhelming. It becomes like a jumbled mess. And it's easier just to walk away than to try to figure it out. So that's something else. Like, I just want to remind you guys, like, don't be afraid to have the conversations. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, if I had a lady the other day message me and be like, can you tell me more about these weight loss products? Well, it would have been easy for me just to pick any pack that I wanted to and send her info. But I went back to that host to post conversation I use. And I was like, how much weight do you want to lose? Do you drink coffee? Are you caffeine sensitive? And I like reeled it back and I asked her questions. And now like we got to the point where she was like, how much is it? What's a Perks member? So now we're at that point, because I like pulled it back and made sure that we went through the steps and I found out what was best for her. Mandy, is there anything you want to add on any of these things? Because I know I really rambled and I didn't even give you the opportunity to like butt in.
I would have butted in anyway if I but no, I honestly like feel the same way. And I've had people too that come to me and they're like, hey, this person like talked to me about a product. And then they're like, but I want to order with you because you've been so consistent and like you're so excited about it. So I kind of think about that the same thing with the link. Like, I don't want to just throw my link out there. I want people to like have that conversation because I've had people, same thing, like, thank you for like giving me all the information and like answering all my questions. And like something else is, remember, you don't need to know all the answers. You just need to know, please go away. You need to know who to go to answer those questions. So like just screenshot your conversations and send them to your upline. And if your upline is still new, like send them to their upline. Like somebody will help you. Like me and Lindsay, we've been doing it for a long time. Like people ask really weird questions sometimes, but like just send the screenshot. You're not going to get on our nerves. There's never a point that it's like, wow, this person is just annoying and they're not figuring it out themselves. Like, no, like come to us and send us the messages so that way we can help you send what to say.
Yeah.
And then did you read the question that someone?
Yeah. So someone also asked about in the chat, like when people are doing host to post, how do you avoid people thinking the person got hacked? I feel like that's like really hit and miss. I mean, the biggest thing I think, because I get that sometimes and the person will be like, no, I really posted it. Or I really like the post that I give now for host post because it does say at the bottom, like, my friend Lindsay is looking for people. So I feel like it's not just like a generic post going out there. It is like circling it back to someone. But if you have people that say like, oh, so-and-so thinks I get hacked, like just have them comment and be like, nope, it's really me. I'm just helping out a friend. And typically for me, I feel like that, like,
I feel like that pretty much cures it. And then like, even like you can comment on it as well and be like, oh my gosh, thank you, Kristen, for like putting this post up for me. I really appreciate your help.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Joyce had asked what if someone asked for the link right off the bat, like messages and says, can I get your link? So whenever that happens with me, I'll always say, sure, I can send it over. Is there any specific goals that you have so I can help make some recommendations for you to check out? So then I'm like, again, because if they just go to the website, there's so many options. There's so many different products. And I want to know what they're thinking, because that way it's just making that personal connection. Then I'm able to say, oh, weight loss. Okay, here's our weight loss section. Here's some of our top packs. If you want to read up about these things, this is where you find those. And you can direct them. And then you also have a follow-up point from that then, because then you can be like, hey, were you able to check out my link? Did you have questions? And then you're kind of already have an idea of what they're thinking. And then if they come out of the blue, which this could happen, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to order the face wash. And you're like, okay, wow, that really took like a left turn, but cool. Or say maybe they wanted weight loss products and they tell you they want to get the wraps. Then that gives a option to like have the conversation, like those are great, but those aren't really for weight loss. those are more for tightening, toning after weight loss. So you know what I mean? So you can have the conversation. So I don't tell people, no, I'm not going to give it to you. I say, sure thing. But I also ask some questions just so I know what they're thinking so we can kind of direct them in a like.
And sometimes I will tell them like, you know, I'd love to give you the app, but I want to help you get the best pack that's going to get you to reach your goal. And then I can create like a shopping cart for you and send the link directly over, you know, like, and then you can go into further, like, do you want ingredients? And you can always send those right over to you.
Yeah. And just like, I don't know, like kind of off of that subject and just thinking about like things we can continue doing, you guys, like, because these are things we want to be doing every single day. But just continue to like be okay with being like vulnerable or be okay with being a little uncomfortable. Like it's okay if you're having these conversations with people and you're not 100% sure if what you're saying is like exactly the right thing to say. Like if you're just being like real and you genuinely want to help these people, like they're going to know that, they're going to sense that, and they're going to feel comfortable, and you're going to be able to work through it. I know sometimes it's like scary. It seems like I don't want to talk to people because I don't want to screw this up. You know what I mean? Or you don't feel like you have to rush the conversation. I know sometimes like in the past I would feel like I had to send all the info all at once because I didn't want to lose them anywhere and I wanted to make sure they knew everything so they could make the best choice. And sometimes I felt like that like freaked them out because it was like, 24 paragraphs of like stuff and they're like, "Oh my God, I just like asked what the name of the company was." And but I was like nervous and I was shy. Now I really try to keep things simple and short and let them like have the conversation. And if I don't know an answer, I still will message people and be like, "Hey, if someone asked this or if someone said this is their diet, what would you say?" Like, you know what I mean? Like it's okay to ask questions. And I know like you guys are all good at that, but I feel like as we're talking about really like having conversations and I know it can be like a little daunting of just being like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to ask a question because what if I don't know the answer? And then I'm like, ugh. Like we can always find the answers together. So like Molly said, yeah, she asked me a question the other day, like we'll muddle through it together. um but yeah, just be excited and be like confident and be like genuinely like show that you want to help people because people are going to feed off of that. And so sorry, I like rambled for a second, but I think that was like most of the thing. And someone just talked about being more consistent. And you guys, like, I don't know how to like say that other than you just be more consistent. I mean, it's like
Like you
hard
have to
because I
find
feel
a way
like,
to be excited.
huh?
Like you have to know like what your goal is and be excited. And like sometimes like finding a partner to work with every day and holding yourself accountable. Like I know me and Lindsay just recently this month are like every single morning, as soon as I send out my 25 messages for asking to host a post, I'm like, hey, I sent it out. Because if I send it before her, it's going to make her be like, oh crap, I need to hurry up. And then same thing for her, you know, and before bed, like if once I put the kids to bed, that's when I sit down and I go through my feed and I start asking my 25 so then I can message her. And like my goal sometimes, she don't know this, my goal sometimes is to like beat her. So then that way she has to be like, oh crap, you know, I gotta hurry up. So just having that person to like go to and being like, hey, I did my task list, like I'm going. It kind of, you know, it helps that person and it also helps you. Sometimes like at night we get on Zooms, and the other day my husband was like, do you guys really just sit there and stare at each other like on Zoom? And I'm like, yes, we do. Like we're working. But if I am not on Zoom, like knowing that she's sitting there, oh my gosh, Angela's face, I'm like dying. Um, she's like, he's like, what are you guys doing on here? But I'm like, if she's sitting here looking at me, I'm like, ooh, I gotta like get my crap done. Like it makes me stay accountable and it makes me stay consistent, where I might would be like, I sent out 5 messages, I'm doing good, let's just scroll TikTok. But if like Lindsay's staring at me and she's over there like concentrating looking at me where I know that she's working, I'm like, I gotta keep up, like I gotta work too. So it sounds stupid, but it really is like helpful and it makes a difference. Like that's how I feel like I'm consistent. And like completing your task, checking it off, find what motivates you and do it.
Yeah, and something like this month I told myself was I'm just gonna be stupid consistent with host to post because I do host to post, but some days I can be like a little lazy on it. Like a day where I'm like really busy, I'll let it slide and I'll be like, I was just busy. And this month I told myself that I wasn't gonna do that. I was gonna ask 25 people in the morning and 25 people in the evening. Like that's my goal. And even this past week, my sister and my niece were here for a week staying at my house. And for those of you that know my sister, know that that can be a little like challenging. But it was literally like 11 o'clock the other night when I finally like sat down for everyone in the house was in bed. And I sent out my 25 messages and I was so freaking tired and exhausted and I didn't want to do it. But I did it because I was like, no, like I have big goals. I'm going to send out my dang messages before I go to bed. And that way, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have people ready. And I even like messaged Mandy and I was like, I'm really proud. Like, I got my messages out. So, and like, I don't care. You guys can message me if you want to tell me that you got your messages done, like, whatever it is. And I can message you and tell you because, like Mandy said, it really does make a difference. And something that we do in like one of our chats is we have like a daily task list, a poll so that you can like every day we put it in there and you can like check it as you do it. So you can see the other people that are doing the tasks and that like it keeps you accountable. And I know like in your guys' chat, like for Courtney, I know she wouldn't care if any of you guys did that. And you guys do really good saying when you've done your shifts and stuff like that. But that's just something like we kind of do too, just to kind of help keep accountable. And it's easy to be like, I don't even know what I need to get done today. Well, it's like right there in front of us. So we can just like mark it off as we go. And if I see like Mandy's done all her tasks for the day, I'm like, gosh, dang it. Like I better get busy because I want to get mine done. So I think just in like finding like the tasks that you can do that for you is manageable. Like you don't want to say like I have these 20 tasks to do and it seems overwhelming and you end up like not getting anything done because you like panic. Write down like your 4 that are your non-negotiables and if anything focus on that first and be like I'm going to get these 4 things done each day, but like really be serious with yourself and say I have to get these things done. And just remind yourself the more consistent that you're going to be, the more that you're going to see the results. Think about going to the gym. You can't go to the gym once a week and get your 6-pack. You know what I mean? But if you go every single day and do the things that you're supposed to do every single day, you're going to see the results. And I think it's so easy sometimes to get like, yeah, we're going to do this. Let's go. And you start out really hard for like a week and then you start to fizzle out. And then like you kind of have a week where you slack. And then so the next week you're like, I'm getting it back together. I'm not doing this again. And you start again. You're really consistent. But when you think about it, you're like, go, stop, go, stop. It's going to take you longer to pick up that momentum. Whereas if you just stayed going every single day, and that's why your consistency is really going to help you to hit that goal. So, and Joyce, that's okay. I saw you say that to you. Shoot, that's been me before too. That's all of us. But that's what we're here to tell you all. Don't let that be you. And it's if that happens, you get back up and you go. And it's always a good like a good time for a new start. But just reminding yourself, like when you don't feel like doing it, do it. Like those are the times I feel like I'm so proud of myself and I really feel like I have like the most like reward is the times I don't because I'll be like laying there at night and I'm like, what if tonight's the night I message someone and they get like a bunch of comments on their post and that's like what changes my business. Like I kind of guilt myself in that way and be like, oh my gosh. Or I'll be like, oh, I can lay here for 10 minutes and scroll and watch stupid videos on Facebook, but I can't send out my 25 messages. Like, come on. Like I have to have these conversations with myself sometimes. But yeah, like just find, like Mandy said, a partner, even if you have to, or just a space where you can say, I'm gonna put my who cares if nobody else does it? Me and Mandy kind of even said it too. We're like, let's throw our stuff in there. And if nobody else cares, at least we know that we're gonna do it. And then everybody else kind of liked it. So you guys like know what to do. You guys have the things, the tools. You have what it takes. Now it's just like the hard part, which is actually doing the thing. So I hope this was helpful. Mandy, do you want to add anything else as we get off of here? because I know this
can't
went
think.
longer than I thought, you guys. I was so flipping tired and I had a really bad headache tonight. Like I actually was like, I don't even know if I can do this. But now here we are, like longer than I expected to be on here, and I don't think I can like go to bed.
I know
Mandy.
I do have one more thing that I was thinking about whenever you were talking about kind of like just holding yourself accountable. Sometimes like in the evening times, like when we've put like when I get my kids to bed and then it's just me and my husband up, like he'll want to turn something on and I tell him like I don't want to turn anything
You?
on that I care about. I don't know what that face was. Don't turn anything on that I care about on the TV until I'm done with my 25 messages. Like, let me get my messages out. And then if you want to like turn a show on that we'll watch together, like, okay, fine. But let me get my stuff done really quick. And then that way, like, it's like a reward for me. Like, okay, I got my stuff out. We can watch the show.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes like just kind of find yourself like a reward. Like, I'm not going to turn on Netflix until I get this done. I'm not going to click TikTok and scroll until I get this done.
Yeah.
Or whatever your guilty pleasure is.
I like that. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on here and for listening to us tonight. The Sunday night call is about to start in like 10 minutes. I know it's going to be really good because I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of Jamaica talk on there. And then once Courtney is back and ready to go, I know she's going to give us like lots of good updates on everything that came from that. So I can't wait for that. And I appreciate you guys. I'm so thankful for you all, and I just can't wait to see all the big things that are going to be happening. So we will see you guys soon. Bye.